coach.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's a great coach at all. He's a nice coach, and to me. I've said this. I've said he's really a great cheerleader guy. I don't know what he does, but I don't think.
All right, ho, ho, ho. Welcome back to Stil'rs Chalk Talk. I'm your host, Randy the Tank Tantlinger, here every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Fox Sports Net, Wheeling, Pittsburgh. Thanks for listening through the ups and the downs and the downs and the downs and the downs and the downs. Will there be any ups left in this season? Will Steely McBean relive the playoff glory years of the 70s? Will Art Rooney II get his head out of his keister? Will the Pittsburgh Steelers realize they're the Pittsburgh Steelers and not the Pittsville Mud Kittens or whatever the hell they've been playing like? Hey, so last segment we went through, and I really appreciate you folks that listen to the show, that subscribe to Stil'rs Chalk Talk Facebook, and now arcing to our YouTube page. So this is kind of my way of saying thank you, because there ain't really much to talk about after 0-3. And God knows what the Bengals are going to do today down at Heinz Field. So it's kind of my way of saying thanks for interacting with us. So please do like our Stil'rs Chalk Talk YouTube page and Facebook page. YouTube, we paste all the videos. Me and Mike McMahon, my partner, former NFL quarterback. He's a good-looking one. I'm the dumb-looking Irish guy when you see the picture. Anyway, I posted a video and commentary. Fire Tomlin. He killed the Steelers' culture, standard, and dynasty. Close to 1,000 views with lots of comments. So, I'm going to read some of these comments. Donksta. Oh, I like that. Donksta says, I'll always remember Tomlin for many times he called an empty backfield shotgun on 3rd down and 2. And failed! So many games lost from doing that horse pucky. Yeah, I remember the empty backfield, doing it with Ben's last couple of years. It was ridiculous. It was no way to run an offense. Neither was Matt Canada's jet sweep. James Cowger, 2581, 3 days ago. I've wanted a Tomlin fired for the last 7 or so years because I believe that he wasted the second half of Big Ben's career. You know, I got to argue that as well, James. And for a lot of you listening to the show, you say, how can you say that? Ben was the one playing. Listen, Mike Tomlin was the one that hired Matt Canada, Randy Fichtner, and Todd Haley. Again, Fichtner and Canada are so bad, they made Todd Haley look good. I assure you, kitty cats, he wasn't. The Steelers' offense was good. It had the killer bees. It had Mike Munchak's offensive line. Boy, could we use Mike Munchak now. Mike Tomlin wasted the second half of Ben's career. They had all the tools. AB was normal. Burfitt hadn't hit him yet. They should have been to a Super Bowl. There's only so much your quarterback can do when your head coach is doing nutty things. Like bringing in Todd Haley. Do you know Todd Haley never played a down of football in his life? Now, once you ingest that, do whatever you want with it. Okay? Half of you out there went, that don't matter. Matters to me. I've been lit up on a football field so hard on a kickoff return, suicide squad, that I had to crawl to the sidelines and throw up. Knowing what the game feels like goes a long way. Do you remember when on a snowy day in Buffalo, Todd Haley ran Le'Veon Bell like 34 times? No wonder Le'Veon Bell wanted more money. 34 times. Let me tell you something. If you don't think that's a lot and you don't understand how stupid Todd Haley was to do that, let me get a baseball bat and I get to whack you 34 times. You can put on shoulder pads, pads, and a helmet, okay? I promise only to hit you in the pads. As hard as I can. Then you might understand how stupid Todd Haley was. And how stupid it was to run him 34 times. And Mike Tomlin hired him. All right, going back to responses to our Steelers Chalk Talk YouTube page. My video, Fire Tomlin, he killed the Steelers culture, standard, and dynasty. True Spirit, 1925. I can tell since 2010 that Tomlin has destroyed the Steelers' way. True Spirit's going back to 2010. I don't do math real well, but it's New Year's Eve practically. That's 14 years ago. User FZTZ8M says, Ben for head coach. Maybe. I can go for that. I mean, give Ben Roethlisberger OC duties, head coaching duties for 5 years with no expectations of a Super Bowl or even playoffs. What the hell does that matter? we don't go to playoffs anymore. Do you think he at least gets the Steelers culture back? Yeah, I do too. Ooh. Here's a charging indictment. Oh, fuck. All right, here's the most charging indictment. Matt Burton, 3233, says, Tomlin rode Cowher's seat tails for his first Super Bowl, then benefited from having a Hall of Fame quarterback to finish as the coach, who has never had a losing season up until now. Oh, I put that in there. Matt Burton finishes, we can do better. Chocolate Natural Sweet answered Matt Burton and said, Cowher only won one Super Bowl title while coaching the Steelers, and he was with the team for 15 seasons. So you're not saying much. Now Coach Snow had 4. Cowher's riding off of Knowles' dynasty. And Tomlin off of him with 1 Super Bowl. Be realistic. He's the best coach, not a current, but you know you like the Rooneys. Just don't swap coaches. Anyway, chocolate naturally sweet, obviously is sweet for Mike Tomlin. You know, I find that most of the ladies, no offense ladies, there's probably a few guys out there too, that are adamant Mike Tomlin defenders are probably a little sweet on him. I mean, he is a good-looking guy, he is articulate, and he is worth $100 million. All right. Matt Burton was so angry, I guess he had he answered chocolate naturally sweet by saying common denominator between Cowher and Tomlin is Ben. Boy, ain't that a lot of truth in that. But, hey, I think Tomlin couldn't even carry Bill Cowher's cleats. All right. This video I posted on Steelers Chalk Talk on YouTube is up to 70,000 views in 2 days. I just posted it. The heading says, Mike Tomlin, Mr. Rooney, wake up. Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger were calling it like they see it years ago. So if you go to the video, it's Terry Bradshaw talking about...
And took over a team that had been struggling. And when you take over for Chuck, and you know, even the Steelers...
Terry Bradshaw talking... In 2016, we all know what he said, that Mike Tomlin was not a good coach. He was just a cheerleader. Then you get into Ben's. You know, some people are so stupid. I'm sorry, I got to say this. Ben's comments last week that just shook tidal waves through Steelers Nation. One guy said that Ben Roethlisberger was not talking about Mike Tomlin last week when he talked about, you know, the Steelers being done and that nobody holds anybody accountable. Are you a moron, mister, who wrote that? I'm not going to evoke his name on here. Are you an idiot, No offense, it's Christmas. But seriously, man, maybe you ate too many paint chips as a kid, or were licking the glue with the tongue depressor in the 3rd grade to stick stars on a piece of paper, man. That you don't understand that when Ben Roethlisberger made his statements last week that the Steelers might be done and that the franchise has all kind of problems, that lays squarely on the feet.
Pittsburgh Steelers is done. Maybe it needs to be formed a new kind of way. I don't know. Like, who's grabbing someone by the face mask and being like,
Yeah.
that's not what we do. It's not what we do. Is that happening? You have guys on defense doing it, but you need guys on both sides of the ball doing it. You need someone to stand up in that room on offense.
All right, now he is talking there about offensive players. Somebody be a leader. Somebody be a leader. But when you listen to the totality of Ben's hour show, he squarely is going after Tomlin and destroying the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nobody else to blame. Who do you think created the Green Bay Packers culture? His name's on a little trophy up there. Vince Lombardi. What you're seeing play out now is Mike Tomlin's leadership. All right, I want to get to some of these comments. Might have to pick them up in the 3rd, but Mr. Rooney, wake up. Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger, we're calling it like they see it. So Stephen Scott wrote, when people ask me if Cowher was a great coach, I have to say, yeah, 6 AFC championship appearances in 13 seasons. He took a struggling organization and made it relevant. Did he have trouble winning the big games? Yeah, he did. But eventually he got there and did it. Tomlin was very wise not to do much when he first arrived, and he took the stacked team and let the coordinators and the players run the team. Now that everyone from the Cowher era is gone, we are left with Tomlin's imprint fully on the team. The team has been non-relevant since 2010. 3 playoff wins in 13 seasons? This is a prime example of Tomlin's standard is the standard. Yeah, he made it 7 times in 13 seasons, but did nothing when his team showed up. They have never replaced Casey Hampton, and outside of the Munchak coach O-line era, they have suffered on the O-line since 2009. Also, if you want further evidence, I also judge coaches off of their playoff record and their coaching tree. Look at how many of his coordinators were even hired as head coaches in the league. 0, if you don't count Bruce Arians, and I don't, who was not a Mike Tomlin hire. Man, that says a lot. Hey, this is Tank Tantlinger. You're listening to Steelers Chalk Talk here on, you know what you're listening to, Fox Sports Net, Wheeling, Pittsburgh. It's Christmas show, and I'm just saying thank you to your fans, my fans, our fans. 1, 2, 3, 4, our Corps, your Corps, United States Marine Corps. Merry Christmas to all the Marines, soldiers, and sailors, and Coast Guarders, and airmen across the world. You are appreciated, young men and women, for sure. All right, when we get back, we're going to pick up talking. A salute to you Steelers Nations fan, you Steelers Chalk Talk fans, and say thank you by reading some of your comments.
But you know, he said death threats, he said nasty things, whatever, and unfortunately, it's unfortunate that happened because there's no play. Listen, it's a sport, guys.
Just
like,
a game,
we
guys.
love y'all, your fans. Like, we play for you guys. We want you guys to be happy. We want y'all to enjoy it. But at the end of the day, it's not life, man. This is what we do. It's not who we are. So if that really did happen, which I take that man for his word. He's a good, honest person, man. I know him. I'm sorry that happened to you, Miles, and I'm glad that you got some redemption on a block punt and doing what you do best. But you know, I'm sorry for your family. Everybody had to deal with that. But I was so happy for him to get that. That was really, a turning point, too, in the game because it gave us short field where, you know, they were doing whatever they kind of wanted. And if they punt it down, we gotta go the length of the field again. That's not going to be an easy thing to do, I don't think. So, big play there, which kind of got us back into that game and made it a game, I think.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Thanks for calling, Danny.
Yeah, thanks for